Hi there, it's Steve Crabb, and welcome again to Living Phobia Free, Overcoming Your Fear of Public Speaking. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the root causes of a phobia. Now, I want to explain something before we get into this episode. Understanding the cause of a problem doesn't tend to change it. You can understand how it works, you can understand how it got created, but that doesn't mean it's going to change. So the reason I'm doing this particular video is if you've been suffering and struggling with a phobia for years, then I think you kind of deserve, and you probably want to know, how did it all start? What's going on? And I know that I wanted to have the answer to that question. I used to have phobia of public speaking, and when I really understood how it was created, it kind of makes sense. Because for years and years I've been going around thinking, well, what's wrong with me? I wasn't scared of anything else. Wasn't scared of heights. Wasn't scared of did dangerous sports, all sorts of things, just to prove how courageous I was. But when I got in front of a group, it all changed. So understanding the root cause isn't going to change anything, but at least it give you an insight into how it worked, how it got created, and it'll also help to understand how it gets changed. So there's one simple way to create a phobia. The first thing is you've got to have a learning lesson. We're not born with phobias, you have to learn what to be scared of. And the best way is to have a bad experience. And when it comes to public speaking, for many, many people, those bad experiences can happen when we're really young, generally at school. Get in front of a group, have to read from a book, have all your friends laugh at you, that's a great way to feel bad. And for the brain to learn that getting in front of a group of people is not a good experience. I remember back in 1968, when I was 8 years of age, so you can do the maths, I got in front of a group. It was Christmas time. It was the school play was music through the ages, and I was doing the music hall. I was in part of the music hall stint. I still remember clearly having a blue shirt with a frilly front and a blue cummerbund, bowler hat, walking stick, and I can still remember some of the words and some of the dance moves. And I came off stage and I'd had a great time, a wonderful experience, loved it. And then it all went wrong. My school teacher said, Steve, we're a Beatles short. One of my friends was ill, so there were only 3 out of the 4 Beatles. So she said, you enjoyed it, you did such a good job, on you go. And she literally pushed me onto the stage. And even at that age, I know that John Lennon would never have been seen in a blue silk shirt with a frilly front and a cummerbund. And to make things even worse, I didn't have a guitar. The others all had guitars, and I had to stand there with my walking stick strumming. And that's when my brain learnt that getting in front of a group who were laughing was a scary thing. Now, they were laughing earlier on, but the brain processed it. The first experience was a good experience. The second experience was a scary experience. So that's the way that you can learn to be scared of something. Have an experience where the brain goes, I didn't like that. That was scary. Let's avoid that in the future. Another way to learn the lesson and another root cause of a phobia is to have a number of small, seemingly indistinct, seemingly separate experiences. So it could be maybe you get up in front of a group and read and it goes wrong. It could have been maybe you got up in front of a group and stumbled over your words. It could be maybe you got in front of a group and something unexpected happened. So in and of themselves, they weren't major events, but if they're small, seemingly insignificant events, and they're grouped close together, the brain connects the dots and goes, that's something to be scared of. Another way to do it, really simple, is to see it happen to other people, to observe it. If you see somebody else get in front of a group and they bomb or they forget their words, the brain goes, that looks scary, I better protect you from that. Another way is if you are feeling run down, tired, drunk, stressed, disorientated, maybe through lack of sleep or maybe through drugs of some sort, prescription or even recreation. In those altered states, if something happens and the brain goes, oh, I'm not in control here, it can connect the dots and go, that's something to be scared of. Another way, and this is a very powerful way, is if somebody that you respect and somebody that you think is an authority tells you that something is scary, The brain takes that information in and puts the reference, the label of phobia over that experience. Make sense? So those tend to be the main root causes. Now, when it comes to clearing up a phobia, a lot of people may not even remember consciously how it all first started. That doesn't matter, because you must know when it started at an unconscious level. And that's why things such as hypnosis and NLP are so effective, because it enables us to literally go into the filing system and change the references. So take a moment just to reflect upon your first memory of whenever you had that learning experience. And trust what pops into your mind, because the unconscious, think of it as a library. If you put in the request for the book, the unconscious will deliver the information to you. Trust what pops into your mind. If you understand when it first started, it helps. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because with NLP and hypnosis, we can communicate to the unconscious mind and let it go and find the references and let it go and do the work. So listen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please comment, please like, please share, please subscribe. And remember this, you can live phobia free. It's always a case of when and never a case of if.